and welcome to this week's episode of the Bodacity Show. I am here with the one and only fabulous Mackenzie Holznecht. Did I get it close?
Yes,
So
yes,
tell me
you got it.
again.
It's Holznecht. Yep.
Holznecht. Okay. And you are where right now? Where are you in
I'm
the world?
currently in New York State.
New York State. Okay. I'm in Yuma, but I'm from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, but I'm in Yuma because it's warmer here. All right. So welcome. Let me tell you a little bit about Mackenzie. Today, we're going to be talking about, first of all, her company is called Running with Bacon, which had me at bacon. Lost me a bit at running, but that's what we're going to be talking about is how to get healthy and how it doesn't have to suck. So that was part of why I really, your approach appealed to me because it's so practical and pragmatic and deals with people where they are. So let me tell you a little bit about Mackenzie officially, and then we'll find out the juicy, real good bits and dive into this interesting topic. So welcome, Mackenzie. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Where's her bio? There it is. Coach Mack is the founding health coach of Running with Bacon. Yes, that's actually the name of her company. And she's obsessed with healthy habits. She helps busy, exhausted women transform into the fittest and strongest mamas that they can be, one small step at a time. Think of her like your very own fitness mom, helping you get and stay healthy, but still owning her love of Reese's cups. And if you don't catch her in her garden, odds are she's catching up on the latest Real Housewives episode. All right. So that's a little bit about her. And she really helps women find a different approach to getting and staying healthy, which is what I was really appreciative of when we met. So tell us a little bit more about you and maybe something we wouldn't guess by reading your bio or on your website.
Yeah. So a little bit more about me, I guess the brief version is I used to be a strength and conditioning coach for a college here in the States. And while I loved helping athletes get and stay in their tip-top shape, I actually really enjoyed more the part of it where they were getting to feel strong and confident and all of those other things. And so I transitioned that into my current role as a health coach and have loved it ever since. Something that you may not find, I can't remember if it's on my website or not, but is that I am a huge foodie. I love eating food, which most people are like, if you're a health coach and you're talking about getting healthy, you have to preach salads and rabbit food and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, give me the bacon, give me the Reese's, give me the cheesecake, like give me it all. But it's like in moderation. But yeah, so every Sunday I call it Sunday dinner. It's how I taught myself how to cook. I make like this extravagant Sunday dinner and dessert. And it's kind of funny because it's just me and my boyfriend. So I'm doing it for two. And so I have leftovers for days. But because I love food that much, I really don't mind. And it's something that I've really come to enjoy each week, that I get to be like a glutton on Sunday evenings, just making this new food I get to try.
Cool. I love that. That's awesome. Yes, you can definitely tell you're a foodie because your eyes light up when you talk about cups and so forth. All right. So tell us a little bit about why you care so much about helping women and people get healthy effectively. So where did that start? Where did that come from?
Yeah, I realized actually, so I have a 3-month program that I do a weekly coaching call with my members. And during one of those calls, we got to the point, and I can't remember exactly how we got there, but we got to the point that I had this realization that I wish that my mom had someone like me when she was raising 4 kids, when she was a newer mom and was a career woman. She was super successful. She was the breadwinner of the family, like wore the pants, and I wish that she had someone like me, an influence in her ear saying, you don't have to sacrifice yourself to be this amazing mom and provider and caregiver that you want to be. And in fact, it's kind of the opposite, that when you take the best care of yourself, when you are the best version of yourself, you can then be an even better mom, provider, caretaker, all of those things. And again, I can't remember how I got to this, but I was like, oh my gosh, like this is why I wanted my mom to take care of herself, because from the child's point of view, you love your mom. You want to see her at her best. Like she's your hero, all this stuff. And so I saw her sacrifice so much though, to take care of us and our family. And I wish that she didn't have to do that. So here I am hoping to be that person in the ears of a bunch of women who are on that journey themselves and hoping that I get to show them that there is another way.
Yeah, I love that, and it's amazing how many, and in fact, almost all people who become coaches typically do because of something in their childhood, something that they saw or had to be or do or have because of their situation, and then that became a lifelong passion to want to either support other people in having that or help other people avoid having the negative outcomes. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit about your perspective on health. What is health to you or being
I think
healthy?
Yeah, I think health is being able to show up for life how you envision, like having your mental energy and confidence and kind of the inner dialogue that you have with like, wouldn't it be cool if this, wouldn't I wish I could do this? Like being able to have that line up with your reality. That to me is really what true health and the goal of being healthy. Like, yeah, there's all your biomarkers. There's your heart health. There's your blood pressure. There's your cholesterol. There's all the number stuff that we always hear about, our blood sugar. There's that. That's health, like our physical health. I get that. But the whole reason to me to want to have those good numbers and those good stats and everything is so that you can run around with your kids or your grandkids, is so that you can, when there's a family vacation or a trip or adventure, you get to be just as much a part of it as, the little ones or the young ones that who have all the energy. And taking the pictures, like I can't tell you how many clients that I coach who are like, I don't have pictures with me in them. Like I'm always behind the camera because I don't want pictures of me at this size, or I don't, as long as I can like hide behind people, then I'll get in the pictures. And I'm like, no, like be involved in your life, have proof that you lived this life fully. And so to me, that's health. That's being your healthiest and your best.
I love that. That's a very, holistic perspective and practical too. So one of the things that you talk about is that getting healthy does it if you getting healthy or working out or whatever your part of your process is for getting healthy, which is usually exercise and diet, sucks, then you're doing it wrong. So
Yes.
tell me about that. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think if it sucks, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to eat rabbit food. Nobody wants to do workouts that are so hard that they throw up every day. I don't even want to do that. And I like working out. I
Yeah.
actually like salad, provided it has a good dressing. I like salads. So there's all kinds of stuff. It's like, it doesn't have to suck, because if it does, you're only going to do it for a set period of time that you've given yourself. Like, okay, if I can just make it during the 60-day program, and then I can relax, and then I can go back to normal, and then I can do it. Like the healthy part, you want to build it into your lifestyle, not give it an end date so that then you can go back to all of this stuff that has you feeling unhealthy. It's not like
Right.
the health part is a break from life. It's you want it
Right.
to build it in your lifestyle so it's fun and you want to keep doing it and it makes you feel good, not like, oh, I have to go do this again. That's a terrible feeling.
It is. Okay, well, let's talk about making it into a habit, because that is part of what you advocate is how do you make it a part of your lifestyle? How do you make it a habit? And for instance, for me, I know that I love having worked out. I hate getting to the workout, right? And so
Mhm.
yesterday I went and worked out for a little bit and went into the pool. When I say a little bit, I mean a little bit, but it was more movement than I had done for a few days. So the challenge for me often is the inertia, and once I'm in motion and doing something, then it's a lot easier, of course. How do we make it a habit? One, and how do you overcome the mental barrier to and resistance to working out or eating better, making better food choices, etc. So there's two parts, the inner and the outer. So where do you want to start? Habits or mindset?
I think that they're both intertwined, but I'll start with the habit part. And so, with that, the best way to create a habit is I'm a huge fan of habit stacking. I wish that I could take credit for the idea, but it's where you take a habit that you want to do and stack it on top of something that you already do. So maybe like your morning vitamins, you take them while your coffee's brewing. That's a habit stack, something that the one is the prompt for the other. You just do one, like that's the nature of it, because our days are already set up that way if you think about it. So for example, the way that you brush your teeth is likely the same every single time. You have a habit where maybe you grab your toothbrush and then your toothpaste, and then you put water on your toothbrush and then the toothpaste, or maybe it's the other way around. But either way, you do it the same every single time that you do it. And nobody taught you how to do that. It just kind of happened. And so instead of letting our habits just happen, we're actually going to design them to be the healthy habits that we want. We're going to design them up front so that they work for us in our favor as they become automatic. So it's almost like hacking health, because if you can make it happen automatically, you don't have to give it that much mental energy anymore. And that's why I say that they're intertwined, is because if you can make it habitual, again, that's like redundant because it's a habit, but if you can make it so automatic that you don't have to think about it, you don't have to do the mental gymnastics to convince yourself to get into motion. Your habit, your routines will automatically carry you into motion. Again, similarly to brushing your teeth, think about how you get in your car. You don't have to think, oh, I need to reach to open the door, and then I have to put one leg in, and then I have to get the other leg. Like, it all just happens. So as soon as you decide, okay, I'm getting into my car, all of the rest of those actions naturally take place. And so same thing can happen with our healthy habits. I do this. A perfect example is my after work. I call it my commute because I work from home. So my workout serves as my afternoon commute, kind of my mental separation from my workday to my after my workday. And I have 3 steps that take me from working to working out. And it's shut down my laptop, and then I fill up my water bottle, and then I go get changed. And then by that time, I have gotten into enough motion that, like you said, I have the inertia. I've done enough actions that I don't have to convince myself to work out anymore. It's just part of the process now. It's part of the routine. So when it takes a little bit of thought up front to design those habits. There might be like one of those steps that's missing that really solidifies it for you. But if you can get that sequence of events to happen, you tackle both the habit and the mental part of it all at once.
That makes a lot of sense. So, and I also hear in that really breaking it down into bite-sized pieces that you have less resistance to, like closing your laptop and then filling a water bottle and then changing your clothes. There's a less of a leap to each of those steps than there is to go from I'm working now, I'm going to go work out. And so,
Yes.
The act of filling the water bottle is the bridging step as well,
Mhm.
which is really smart. Can you give us a couple more examples of things like that people could do to kind of put those bridges in place to help them with
Yeah.
working out, better food, or whatever?
Yeah. So all kinds of everything that currently feels like, oh, I don't want to do that. Find out what are the actual steps. Like, break it down into what are the smaller steps that you need in order to make that thing happen. So for example, if you want to go for a walk after dinner, which is fantastic, by the way, it's really good for digestion too. But if you want to go for a walk after dinner, maybe your mental steps to get there is you clean up, like you do the dishes, you load the dishwasher, whatever. And then you put on your sneakers. And then maybe if you have the dog, you put the leash on the dog, and then it's go time, something like that, where you create, I've found 3 to 5 steps tends to work the best, because it's enough that you have the momentum to keep going, but it's not too many where your brain's like, no, that's a really big list. We're not going to tackle all that. So if you can keep it in that 3 to 5 range, you'll find that number of steps is really effective for being, again, short enough, but not too long. Like, I think I said both those, but yeah. So, and then for like a food example, might be something, maybe that you have a fantastic day when you start your day out with a great breakfast. In my case, that would be bacon and eggs. And but maybe for you, if that's cereal or whatever it is, but you're like, I'm so tired in the morning, I can't do, like, it's a hard no for me unless this miraculous energy comes and gets me. Well, something that you might be able to do is maybe as your coffee brews. I love using as your coffee brews because it's like this 5 minutes of dead time that it's really easy to pick up your phone and scroll. But instead, if okay, I have a great day when I start my day with this good breakfast. So maybe you hit the brew button on your coffee maker and then you just put the bacon in the pan. Like just get that far, and then the eggs kind of like who makes bacon and then doesn't put eggs in the pan after. You know what I mean? Like there's these natural steps that you can do to bridge the gap between the step that feels monumental and where you're at now. And so if you can find those couple of steps and actually say them out loud to yourself or jot them down or whatever, that process is for you, but actually acknowledge those steps, and then momentum or inertia will carry you forward through the routine to make it happen. And then you will like the result of it so much that you will want to keep doing it over and over and over again.
Okay, I love that. But let's talk about those of us that are resistant, rebellious, and pooped, because you work with a lot of exhausted women. So, for instance, your example of going for a walk after dinner, a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Often have that intention, seldom do that action, because
Mm-hmm.
step in between cleaning up after dinner and putting my shoes on usually involves a television remote. Okay, and so I'll sit down and that's it. I'm toast. I don't get up and go for a walk, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how do you avoid that piece, especially when you're tired and it's just like the last thing I want to do is go for a walk? Yes, I know it'd be beneficial, but I'm pooped and I just want to sit down. How do we deal with that? Because that's partially resistance and partially just being tired at the end of a long day.
Yep. Yeah. So two ideas. The first of which being, so in my example that I gave where you maybe do the dishes, then put your sneakers on and then, get the dog's leash, whatever, flip the sneakers and the dishes so that you already have started the process of the walk. You put your sneakers on, then you do the dishes, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready. Like I already have my sneakers on. Let's go do this. So that's number one. Number two, it's kind of not necessarily an idea or like a strategy, but more a thought process that you can flip in saying that, okay, maybe I'm really tired for this walk, but I've done the sitting on the couch and watching TV. I've done that and I'm really tired. It happens again the next day. I stay really tired. Let me try this once. Let me try this once and see how I feel. Try the 10-minute walk. And if 10 minutes is too much, try 5 minutes. If 5 minutes is too much, go to the mailbox. Break it down into something that's so small that you're like, okay, it's kind of silly if I don't just give this a try. Try it out. And then you will find that walk to the mailbox might then the next day be like, oh, I could do that, and then it becomes walk to the mailbox and a little bit further. Or if it's a 5-minute walk, maybe the next day becomes a 6-minute walk because you're like, this isn't that bad. I could add another minute. And so you just incrementally add on. And before you know it, that 10-minute after dinner walk is like such a stress reliever mentally, but then physically it has you feeling so much better and energized so that when you come in, you're like, man, I just feel so much better, because physical activity is just as good for our body and our brain. So if we are that mentally and physically drained, moving your body, it doesn't have to be such a taxing, like Instagram worthy sweat session filled with burpees and all this stuff, but movement itself is energizing for our body. We have to help our bodies create that momentum and that energy. And we can do that by moving. And so yeah, it might be counterintuitive at first to be like, I'm so tired, but let me go for a walk. But I promise you, give it a try just to the mailbox and you will start to notice. I promise.
I love it. Tammy says those are some great tips. Thanks. And they're very practical. And you can also see that you have a tremendous amount of enthusiasm for this too. So, like I said, I know I love the feeling of having worked out, but sometimes the resistance to getting to the workout. You have any kind of tips or hints for overcoming that mental resistance of, oh, I've got so much to do, or oh, there's more work, I should do my work instead, or whatever. What do you say when you're working with busy women who are, workaholics and neglecting themselves physically and so forth?
Yeah, the first I would say, and it's kind of cliche at this point, people are like, oh, I don't have time. I can't afford to do this. And I will 100% always make the argument you can't afford not to. It's taking care of yourself. You will be more productive at work. You will be more focused. You will have more creativity. You will have more energy to do those things if you consistently take care of yourself. So that's number one to those kind of resistant women, because I deal with them a lot.
Yeah.
But also, I think that it's something that when you really make that decision to prioritize yourself and get a little, like a fraction of a bit selfish, which I know for most women sounds like, what? Like, I can't do that. I can't be selfish. I have to take care of everyone else. It will be so much more fulfilling how much more you find you have to give to, whether it's your career, your family, things like that. And so the resistance, I think, can kind of melt away once you see how much more you can give, how much more focused you are on things like that. And then kind of the last, again, practical strategy is if you're resistant because you don't actually like working out, like you said, you like the feeling of having worked out, but don't necessarily like the workout itself, is to find there are a million bajillion different ways to move your body. And I am very deliberate when I say moving your body or activity versus specifically exercise and workouts, because it all counts. You can garden, you can dance in your kitchen, you can do house chores. I mean, if you've ever carried laundry up and down the stairs and vacuumed the whole house, I mean, it is work. Okay. So count it and give yourself some credit, but also find something you actually enjoy, because there's all these different modalities and all these different methods. Find something you enjoy. And if that's what you want to do every day, like, sure, experts say you should resistance train, you should do cardio, you should stretch, you should recover, you should do all this stuff. But if you're not actually going to do it and enjoy it, just find the one thing you do enjoy and do that every day so that you actually are looking forward to getting moving that day.
Mm, I like it. All right. So tell us a little bit about how you work with people.
Yeah, I have the first thing that I would love to share about, and I think had planned on talking about this anyway, is my free workout plan. And I know I direct everybody there first because there are so many free resources out there. I don't want money to get in the way of anyone feeling like they can get healthy and get in shape and feel their best. And so I have a free workout plan, which we can talk about and link to, but I also have a monthly membership that I coach. I provide workouts for all 7 days of the week. They're about 30 minutes long. And then as part of that, I do live workouts every Saturday morning with the group, which are really fun if you're able to make it live, but I do post the recordings as well. And in that group, I do monthly challenges. I do quarterly one-on-one calls, all kinds of like fun stuff, just to keep it fresh and keep it spicy, keep you wanting to come back for more. And then once a year, I also offer a 3-month program. It's kind of like that monthly program, but on steroids. It's a very dedicated 3 months. It's called Fitter Faster. So my membership is called Fit by Bit, which we get fit by bit. And then Fitter Faster is what the name says. It goes a little bit faster process. So those are the two main ways that I help women and coach them through this whole process. But in all of my coaching, we tackle the movement aspect of it. We tackle the food aspect of it. And then we also tackle the mindset and kind of belief system about workouts and food and all that.
Mm-hmm. I love it. So I just signed up myself. That's what I was doing over there. And Lisa David Olson is sending lots of applause. So I'm thanking for that. So that's awesome. You said that in that when we set up for the 4-week gift, I just want to make sure for the workout plan. The standard workout plan the same for everyone, or is it a custom workout plan? How does that work?
So the free one is a standard workout plan. I start you off with I have a few of my workouts in there. I have a few from some of my favorite YouTube channels and a workout app that I love. My goal for the 4-week plan is, even if you don't pick me as your coach, I want you to come away from that plan having found some workouts that you actually enjoy doing, some new resources that you have to draw upon different workouts or fitness or health stuff. And then also have me just as a resource. If you have questions for me, things like that, like I check in with you each week of the program, see how it's going. If you have any questions, need any substitutions, or like if you have injuries, just reply and let me know. And I will make swaps and modifications. I mean, I'm here, like, I want this program to work. If you sign up for it, I will help it work for you.
Okay, awesome. Well, we're almost out of time, but Tammy Radar had a question. Are there certain exercises you can do when you're sitting at your desk all day, which I know we shouldn't do, but it happens, then I'm really stiff. And Lisa David Olson replied and said she does office yoga and then try not to be seen. What are your recommendations for those of us who keep our ass in the chair too long?
Yes. So there are ones you can do, sitting exercises, all kinds of different like arm raises and curls and things like the overhead presses. You can also do leg extensions. You can do stretches in your chair. I would also encourage you, because I'm a huge fan of habit stacks, is to come up with something that you do a few times throughout your workday. Maybe it's you check your email once an hour, and after every time you check your email, you stand up and do 5 squats. Something like that that forces you to get up out of your chair and do something a little bit active, and then you can sit back down and do it. And so there are tons, having previously worked an office job, but also now working from home, where it is easy to stay glued to my chair. There are plenty of ways that you can get creative to add in activity with habit stacks through your workday.
Well, I really like the habit stack idea. My trainer told me to do, I call them butt clenches. I'm not sure what she calls them, but they're basically you lift yourself up, like you kind of tighten your muscles, and
Yep.
it tightens your diaphragm and your butt and your all of your muscles from here down.
Yep.
And it gives you a little bit more energy. It helps with your back. It helps with posture, a bunch of things. So, but I forget to do it. So the piece that's really valuable in terms of what you've been saying is tie it to something else. So every time I check my emails, I'm going to try and remember to use that as a trigger to do a few, whatever that exercise is actually called, butt clenches is what I call it. All right, so I hope that helped, Tammy. And of course, again, the real key there is to make it part of a habit so that we actually do it on an ongoing basis. So how can people find out more about you? What's your website, and or how do you want people to contact you?
Yeah. So my website is runningwithbacon.com, and I am on Instagram at runningwithbacon, YouTube. Yeah, really I try to put myself out there. So you can find me. I can link them here in the group as well. So yeah, I would love for everyone to reach out and contact me.
Okay, awesome. And so it's runningwithbacon.com, you said, right? I'm
Yep.
putting website, there we go, putting it in the chat here. And if you've got additional questions, please write them down, and then Mackenzie will check in and give you answers along the way here. So if you think of something afterwards, or if you're watching this later this week or next month, then reach out to Mackenzie, and I'm sure she'll be able to give you some ideas or answers. And I highly recommend that you take her up on that offer of the 4-week workout and the support during that, so that you get to know her and you get to have some support for that kickstart. So thank you so much for being here. I love your passion and enthusiasm for making a change, for making actually getting healthy fun and not something that sucks, and not a have to or a should, but a get to, and
Yes.
to get with pleasure, because I think that really truly our purpose lies in the path of our pleasure, and not only our purpose but our well-being, including our health. So I think it's a really brilliant idea and approach to how can we be in the world, and being happier, being more fun, having more bacon, all of that is a good thing. So thank you very much for being an advocate for the get tos instead of the shoulds and have tos, because Lord knows we have enough of those as it is. So what's one last thought you want to leave everyone with, Mackenzie?
I would love to leave everyone. It is my mantra. It has been basically since I started my business, is if you are moving, it counts. Don't overthink it. If you're moving, it counts.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And now that we're ending this episode, good time to get up, walk around the house, maybe go outside, smell the air. And if you're moving, it counts. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a bodacious day and a bodacious week. And remember to do your butt clenches too. Okay. Bye.